What's happening right now is very good, but the way that it came about is about as inauthentic and political as everything else in Washington. The Democrat Party couldn't have cared less about this atrocity for the past several years, and we know that, but found the fall of 2025 and the end of their disastrous government shutdown a very convenient time to pretend they care.
The Democrats had all the Epstein files in their possession for 4 long years under the Biden presidency. The Biden Department of Justice had these files, and no one on this side who is breathless today about the urgency of this release ever said a word about it. Why the sudden urgent interest in Jeffrey Epstein? Look, we know why. The simple truth is obvious for everybody to see. This is a political exercise for Democrats. Democrats are using the Epstein tragedy, the unspeakable evils that this guy committed. They're using that as a political weapon to try to distract from their failures as a party and to try their best to try to tie President Trump somehow into this wretched scandal.
And that's exactly right. For 4 years, they ignored the victims of Jeffrey Epstein because the politics of it didn't quite work. They walked right by, pretending to be on their phones. That's how much the Democrat Party really cares about women. Then after an election that they lost, losing power, they dug into files that were well known to them, and they squeezed a couple emails about the president out, including the big one we saw last week, which they needed a deceitful redaction of to sell to the broader and brain-dead media, concealing Virginia Giuffre as a young girl who had spent hours with Trump, allegedly, according to Jeffrey Epstein. They concealed the name because Giuffre was Trump's loudest and most vocal exonerator, as explained once again today by James Comer.
In their latest selective leak, Democrats released just three of the 23,000 pages of documents from the Epstein estate. And they made redactions to 2 of those emails that changed both the context and the meaning when we released every single document that we got. They claimed full transparency was meant to, quote, disorient or distract. These are the same Democrats who chant, release the files every day until the files contradict the story they want to tell.
As we have said, you'd have to be quite dense to actually believe that there is a massive Trump scandal that's sitting inside of these files or that ever sat inside these files. All of this information was at the hyper-weaponized Biden Department of Justice for years. This was likely the first place that they looked for something big enough to stop the Trump machine from recapturing Washington the way it did.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt tonight on Newsmax.